Doing a sound check, everyone. Can you hear me? Please chat. Let me know in chat if you can hear me. Thanks.
Good afternoon. I see my spell has worked. Pull up a stool and have a seat. Lady Heather has arrived. Her broomstick has popped. So watch closely now with your imagination sparked.
Hi everyone, it is I, Lady Heather. Welcome to my show today. The theme is witches, kind of a little bit of a, shall we say, a Hocus Pocus witch themed, a Disney inspired fan art. I will be creating my version of the Sanderson sisters, which I'm sure how many of you have seen the movie Hocus Pocus. I imagine almost everyone here. I want to say that my tech support is here today, my assistant, so he will be kind of monitoring the chat, so forth. I'll be paying attention too, but I'm going to be doing some drawing today. So let's get started. I am kind of the one monitoring the camera, so if I'm looking up and down, that's why. Hi everybody. Run down some names. Hi Heather, Carl. Is it Benny? Benny? I can't even
Laura
see my
McDougal,
glasses.
Marianne Larson.
Hi, Marianne, Laura,
Heather
Davissa. I got Heather Berger. Hopefully Dustin is there. If he is, a big shout out there. We're going to get ready to have some fun today. I will be digitally coloring again. In our last show that I did, what was it? Oh, my Disney-inspired fan art of the painting from the Haunted Mansion was my last live stream last Monday. You loved all the digital paintings, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on this. And then next week, do I even want to say the theme? I'm asking my tech support. I don't think I want to give the theme out. Maybe by the end of the episode, I may give you a little hint. Oh, I'll do it now. It's also another movie-inspired Halloween movie. Kind of, I wouldn't say spooky. What do you think? Do you think it's kind of spooky?
A little spooky.
A little spooky, but on the comedy side, I would have to say. But that's going to be happening next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, what you see on my desk, I'm going to go ahead and get my tablet glove here. It has my magical 2 fingers that are covered so I can draw on my tablet. This is the sketch that I had already sketched out. I went ahead and I imported it onto my tablet, but I wanted you to see the sketch first. Let me get my tablet out here. Let me kind of rearrange myself here. Okay,
If we could lift your ceiling cam out of the way and zoom in a little bit so it's not in your face, that'd be great.
Well, let's see.
There, that's better. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about the camera in my face, but got to be able to have you guys focused in on this too, so. Okay, and I really don't like zooming in too much because last time we kind of missed something. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it sideways this time. Well, maybe it's not going to do that. I'll do it that way. And that is my Bella having nightmares. Let's see. Making some camera adjustments here. Okay, I think everything is okay. Okay, is that better for everyone now? No camera in my face?
Mucho better.
Okay, so I'm working on my Procreate, which is on my iPad Air. Procreate is an app for those of you who didn't join me last week. This is just a program that you can get. It's available for Apple tablets. Don't believe it's available for any Android at this time. It's like $6.99 or $9.99. It's a wonderful app. I highly recommend for any of you who have tablets. I recommend this. If you have the Wacom, which you've heard me, or you've even seen me use, the Wacom 16 Cintiq, cannot run Procreate. You can only use well, there's other paint programs out there, but I use Adobe Photoshop on that. Okay. But anyway, right now, as you can see, I'm just going to give you the lowdown. We have the background color, which is white, which it won't be by the time we're done. My layer, which is, if I take away this, you can see the sketch. And I've gone ahead and I've already done the inking in kind of a sepia color. Now, the question is, why did I import it? Can I not draw on the tablet? I can, but at a later date, sometime before the end of Halloween, I'm going to be coloring this one in manually, traditional style. So I wanted to have both, and this was easier just to import it. You want to work in layers when you do Procreate, or even when you are, let's say you're doing the Adobe Photoshop, okay, on your Wacom if you have that. And if I'm telling you here, if you're just starting out and you want to color on your tablets, the best thing I can do is say the Procreate and like your Apple, your your iPad Pro or your iPad Air. It's really the best way to go. I know Wacom has, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, the Wacom 1, is it? Or is it the Intuos?
I think it's the Wacom 1.
The Wacom 1. I think the price range is $3.99, so that would be your least expensive route. There are other tablets out there, so far as like the X Pen, which has a very nice price tag. Hello, Renee. Has a very nice price tag, very economical, and I would highly recommend that product too. In order to get started going in, we're going to do some basic just fill-in and drags, and hopefully I've connected all my lines here. Once again, that is my Bella snoring. I'm up for, what is it? Mischief. Oh yeah, Mischief Managed. I don't think so. Not today. Forgive me, you're going to see me drinking a lot of coffee. I have a sore throat today, so fun. But anyway, want to see. As I was talking about this glove, this is a tablet device glove. You want to use it for your tablet because it keeps, you can see here, if I go ahead and I mark it with my finger like this doesn't happen when I have the glove on. And I'm just going through right now, and I'm making sure, for the most part, that my lines are kind of connected. I have a knack for when I'm outlining that I do not connect my lines, and that really does matter. Because when you drop in fill in colors, if you don't have it closed off, you're going to go ahead and do the whole entire screen. Okay, and a little eraser here. And I do not have the whole entire image showing on my screen right now, because I want to do basically a close-up so you can see what's going on. I outlined it in the brown because I really don't want black lines right now showing, at least in my finished work, even though you can lighten it and so forth. There we go. I think I have pretty much all the lines assembled. We'll find out. So we have my version of Mary, my version of Winnie in the center, and then we have Sarah. Like I said, I asked how many of you have seen the movie Hocus Pocus. Did anyone respond? I mean, it's like an all-time favorite classic of mine.
Well, just remember, you've got a 45-second time lag.
Right. And I'm just going ahead and doing this. Now, if you're going to zoom in on a image, okay, you just kind of put your fingers here, not the ones with the glove, gloved, and you can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. A couple of you had said last time the menu was getting in the way of the art. Unfortunately, I need to have that menu in order to see what I'm doing with the brushes and stuff and the controls. But right now, I've kind of turned it this way, so hopefully they're not going to be all in your face. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide my sketch layer, and I'm going to rename my layers. For those of you who are starting out on your tablet, you want to go ahead and rename your layers. It comes really in handy for when you start building up your highlights and your shadows and everything like that. You want to work on separate layers, and trust me, as many times I've done this, and there are hundreds of artists out there who do this, you get lost, and colorists, you get lost in doing your thing. You forget to relabel it. So it's more easier said than done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and here we go. And you can see here, now I just have the line art. And I'm going to go ahead and fix, no, I don't want to do that. Go back to my ink layer here. And I'm just going to go ahead and fine tune some of this in. And it looks pretty good. Funny thing is, I didn't pull a reference of the original colors. So I'm going to be winging this. I know Winifred's is green and purple. Sarah's is kind of
Red.
Muted. And Mary's is more red, isn't it? Yeah, Mary's. All right. Normally I would have a reference sheet to it, but hey, I'm just going to wing it. It's my version of it anyway, right? Right. So, everyone kind of knows the general gist of everything, so. All right. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm looking for colors to drop and drag. And you can see here, you want to dial in around and then you can fine tune and pick your layers. And am I on camera so everyone can see? Yep. Okay. So that looks pretty good. And if I have all my layers closed off, which probably I don't. I never do. I want to go ahead, first of all, I'm going to rename another sketch here, or another layer. And I'm going to go ahead and call this base color. Like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move it and I'm going to put it below the sketch. Okay, even though the sketch isn't seen, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go back up here to the base color, make sure we're on the base color. You can tell that because of the blue. And let's see what we have. See, I didn't close off all my layers. Go figure, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and brush this in. And let me find this in. Go over here to my airbrush. Maybe not. It's one of those days, don't mind me. And let's see. And you can see I have a wide assortment of brushes here. I'll even be coming out with my own brushes here for those of you who are going to get my round brush. And this over here, this top button controls the size of your brush. The bottom controls the opacity of the brush. And there's other controls that can do that also. But I'm going to go ahead and, hey, I know what I did. I told you it's an odd brain day here today for me. For those of you who don't know, I do have MS, and sometimes I forget things along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and isn't that funny? I forgot half of her body.
We have some new guests. Jill Perrinon is
Hi,
here.
Jill.
And Dustin is here with Heather.
Hi, Dustin. Sorry we missed you on Monday. Okay. As you can see, just bear with me here. Okay, Procreate. One of my favorite brushes. Is actually SERP. I know, a funny name for a brush, right? And I'm just adjusting the opacity here. I want her hair to come down here like this, and her neck. Back up if you don't like it. That's the beauty about digital. If you don't like something, you can just go ahead and delete it. Okay, so now that looks really pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Okay, we should be good to go. Now let's go back to the skin color. Let's change my layer, base color. And let's try to shoot for kind of a peachy thing today. Oh, now I'm gonna. All right, we're on the base color, and I'm gonna start filling it in. I really don't mind if it goes off into some of the other areas. Gonna try to stay in our lines, but you want a nice even coat, and I think that's a little too dark still. We're doing it a little bit different for those of you who tuned in last week, or yeah, last Monday. Kind of dropped and drag, and I'm just trying to teach you as much as I possibly can with this. Now, as you can see, I'm coloring underneath the sketch. Or digitally painting, I should say. And that's why our layer is below that. I'm going to go ahead and scoot this over. There are so many different ways you can approach this and do it. You need to develop your own style. I can just teach you the various techniques.
Marianne hasn't seen the film, but she's going to look it up later on.
Oh, it's a Disney film. It's really great. Put your 2 fingers down and scoot the image aside. Yes, I'm coloring outside the lines. Okay. Now, I can then come back in, and let's say on this base color, let's say I wanted to go ahead and lighten it a little bit. Are you all seeing that? Now I've really lightened that base color, and I'm okay now with that skin color. So I didn't have to go back and erase. You can play with the opacity in that. And that is, like I said, there's the opacity here for the pencil, and then there's also the opacity in the layers, which makes it really, really nice. Now I'm just looking to make sure that I have all the skin color, and I kind of missed one over here. just going back and kind of giving it a once over. Not that we can't come back to that. Like I said, I'm not really worried. If I wanted to, I could come back and erase. Show you here. And so forth. Now, some of you may be saying, well, great, I came here to watch, you know, how to do colored pencils and that. You can pretty much, in a nutshell, with the layers and the way I'm coloring, you can do this with traditional stuff. You don't have to, you know, if you don't have a tablet, say, oh, well, I can't apply this. Trust me, there are so many things that I have learned from embracing the digital world, okay? And trust me, it took a while, okay, because I am a traditional artist. But once I started, I really can't get enough of the digital coloring. And that saves a lot of time. Listen, if you're coloring something, okay, and you're on your piece of paper and that, and you've made a major oopsie, and I'm sure all of you can say, yes, I've done that, okay? What do you normally do? Circular file it. Throw it away. Me, I've done that too. Normally I just flip it over and push it aside and maybe come back to it when my brain, you know, instead of sitting there stressing out, you know, about the mistake I made, oh, you can go ahead and flip it over, walk away, come back, get a fresh new perspective on it and say, huh, now I can go ahead and you know, fix the oopsie. Digital, if I were to go like this, I put on here, oops, I made a mistake. All I have to do is hit the back button. So that's a really good, you know, pro on this. As far as effects, there are some effects I'm going to tell you that you cannot get with your colored pencils, your markers, your paints. You can come close. Trust me, you can come close. But there are just some that there is just no way that you can create unless you're doing it digitally. Another pro to digital is the speed. And I'm just sitting here erasing a little bit so you can see how easy it is just to erase. And like I said, it really wasn't needed. I need to color her this ear over here and so forth. But the ease of this is phenomenal. I'm going to leave a little bit of this hair here with the color so you can see that you really don't have to erase. Okay, so what I want to go ahead and do here is I'm going to, everyone knows that Winnie has quite red hair. I don't know, she made an appearance on my intro, which I'm sure all of you have seen in my promo during the week. So thank you to her for making a guest appearance. Really had fun with that, don't you think? That was my tech support's really quiet today. He's just really quiet. I'm going to change my brush here because I really don't like that brown brush, or that round brush I should say. And I'm going to go here to painting artistic. Kind of like the flat. Oop, that's not going to work. And plus you get all these other brushes that you can sit here and play with. I mean, truly. And there's a bunch. I mean, you can import them from the internet. And
I'm impressed by the textured brushes you find.
I know.
Like your leaf brush, that's cheating.
No, it's not cheating.
Just wait till they see snow.
Yeah, snow is really cool. Okay. This is still not as bright. Oh, okay. So what I need to do is I need to create another layer because I don't want to ruin my skin layer. That's why it's not full opacity here. And I'm going to call this base hair color. Okay, I'm on this layer. So now I'm going to go ahead and see, now we don't have the opacity. It's not thinned down like it was. Well, you can't say that's not red. Huh?
That looks like the color.
I know, tell me, Rebecca. And I'm back on that layer. And it erased my whole entire layer. Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. Base, hair. And I'm going to put it below the sketch.
Chris Castelli is here.
Hi, Chris. welcome. And as you can see, I'm underneath the layer, so my lines are still coming through. And with her hair, you know, it all, her hair is really wild and all that, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of color that in. I'm going to drop the opacity, or pardon me, the size of my brush and get it around here. And you can see the speed. Plus, for those of you who have hand ailments and so forth, like fibro, arthritis, MS, guess what? This is so easy on the hands. Now, I'm not asking y'all to run out there and go get tablets. That's not the whole thing. But if you have, you know, and you've been wondering and you want to, I encourage it. Don't be scared. I mean, hey, when you first pick up your colored pencil, your marker, or your crayon, you had to learn from someplace. And trust me, there is a giant learning curve to it. Now, if you have questions, like I said, my support, or my tech support is here, so you can go ahead and ask questions, and he'll relay them to me. I hope everyone is having fun today. All right. And we know that Mary's hair is kind of on the dark side of things here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to shrink down my layer here. I'm going to open up this brush a little bit. And you could not color this fast with with colored pencils. Everybody is quiet today. Yes.
They're having too much fun watching.
Oh. So, question. How many of you like watching the digital stuff and learning the digital stuff? The painting and that? Or do you really still like the more traditional side of things?
Marianne says it's always a joy to watch you color, Heather.
Well, thank you. And as we know, it's going to look worse before it gets better, which we all saw that last Monday. How many of you joined me last Monday and saw the Pepto-Bismol skin going down on Eleanor and was wondering what was I doing? And for those of you who missed my last on Monday's episode, the live stream, you can go ahead and watch it. It's in my YouTube and get caught up. Okay, and Sarah's hair here is kind of, I'm going to go kind of more of a golden brown or golden yellow. You have to watch out here because there is a, when you get into this medium area here, it starts really getting, how can I say that, kind of olivey color, because green or black and yellow does make a type of green. Yes.
Chris Castelli says this is fascinating to me, and Laura McDougall says she enjoys watching you do both.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to advance this here. Okay, and like I said, I'm not worried about it going into, and I'm going to have to shrink this down because her hair went off the page here. I'm going to shrink the brush. Now basically it's looking just real simple. You're like, well, we just haven't added all the fancy details yet.
Carl watched it and your other video and said he did, and it was great. And
Oh,
Marianne
thank you.
says she loves to watch it, but not sure that it's for her. She's more into coloring with pencils. She loves pencils.
Well, the cool thing about this is you can set it for pencils, oil painting, watercolors, and trust me, the various brushes that come with this, I don't like painting really with watercolors in real life traditional style. On here, I can get the same effect digitally, and it's really wild. I have to do a watercolor painting on both.
Heather says it's amazing to see it transform.
Oh, thank you, Heather. And for those of you who are wondering who's snoring in the background, that is
It's
my
not
ballerina.
Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Tom. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I think that's kind of a cool color, that green. She is wearing kind of that emerald green. Maybe I'll go up a little bit. That allows me some shading here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to continue dropping and dragging. This is really the more monotonous. Is that the right word? Yeah, monotonous. That is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, anything is possible. This is kind of the more boring part of this, just getting it laid down. And then all the fun stuff comes. I'm going to go ahead and this is the light part of her collar up front. I guess I could make that bigger for you. Like I said, the color is behind those lines.
I think that was the hardest part for me to learn, that you layer your layers, or you stack them.
Oh yeah, it sometimes.
So one's on top of the other. It's like layers of onion skin.
And you can forget. You can forget. That's the whole. I'm here on the green. Let me go ahead and darken that area up here. It's not. I know it's. You're like, I'll remember to do the layers. Trust me, you will forget about the layers once you get caught up into it. And I think her outfit. If I don't have the exact colors, like I said, this is fan art. You will not see this image available for sale. And that is because it is fan art. And I'm going to eyeball it here with Sarah's. Could you do me a favor, please, and pull up a reference shot of
Sure.
Here, let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, just so I can see. I want to come close, but not. While he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down because we have this great big pot, cauldron. And I'm really not worried if
Whose did you want to see first?
both Sarah's or would come in handy.
Okay.
Okay, so hers kind of
Sarah's
red
is like
burgundy and orangey.
Like an ash rose and burgundy.
Okay, and kind of a burnt. Yeah. Okay, I see it.
Okay.
I know she has purple. Okay, now let's talk about that for a minute. Looking up reference when you're doing something like this. Okay, and this is fan art. And like when I was doing the Haunted Mansion, of course, I was able to see the original painting. There is absolutely nothing wrong with using it as a reference. I could pull up the reference here and have it on the screen, but I don't want anything else on my screen. That's not like a copyright violation, okay? Doing highly inspired fan art, okay, that you are not going to sell is not a copyright violation. I can sit here as an artist and you as a colorist, what have you, if you want to go out and draw, or any artist, you can sit here and draw, whatever your heart desires, as long as you don't sell it. When you start selling it, that is when there's a copyright thing. So I want to go ahead and fill you in kind of on that, because there's been some controversy about, fan art in the coloring groups and all this kind of stuff. I need to find my other brush here. And that's the difference. So that's really important to follow and to oblige by. Even, I mean, it happens, every day. There's always some kind of copyright violation when you steal from someone else's, work and you sell it. That's the problem here. And like I said, this will never be sold. This is just me celebrating Halloween on with my Hocus Pocus and that. And I love Disney. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this kind of. I'm gonna go back to that brush that I had. That's that flat brush. I keep going back to that. It keeps going, use me, use me, use me. And I'm like, mm-mm. Been there, done that. That's enough. So I'm actually using a Tech pen with a wider thing here. A Tech pen because it is more solid, and I want it to be solid. It's kind of going to be the same color as Winnie's for right now. All right, and she has a vest on and her red, so let's go over here to, oh, that's like almost spot on here. And I'll go back to the cauldron. And when you're doing your fan art, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just depends on where you want to go with this. And I'm going to get it pretty close to the colors. Okay, and let's see. And hers was a little more orange on the center of the vest. And so forth. All right. Pardon me there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and drop in some color. I'll lay a base color down here, and I'm going to fill in. I'm going to go ahead and name another layer here, because the cauldron really stands out by itself.
Laura says they're looking great so far.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put my finger on it like this. I'm going to go ahead and drop and drag and put it underneath that sketch. And I'm going to go ahead and lay in a base color to the cauldron. All right. I come in somewhere here, a little lower, and you can see not even, okay, you have this area here where it is. If you look up over here in the upper right hand corner, you can actually see your colors. That is kind of a black, but it's also not a black. Does that make sense?
Well, you never really ever color with black. Right?
No. Yeah, now what if you could color like this fast with colored pencil in an area? Marker pretty close. I'll give you that.
I don't know. Davissa does a pretty good job with filling it with colored pencil.
Yeah, but not that fast.
No,
I know
but
she'll
she
say
gets it
not that
She
fast.
gets it that solid, though.
Oh, yeah. For those who don't know, Davissa is one of my colorists, and she has her own coloring channel. Okay, something just happened to my brush. Please tell me I'm on the... Yep, I'm on the cauldron layer. How weird is that?
It's cool that you see her.
Oh,
lines,
I know
too.
what it is. I hit the opacity button, huh?
It's cool that you can still see your line art through the black.
Isn't it though?
The dark gray.
I'm going to shrink this down. Davissa, aka, what is her name on here?
DJ's Colorful Escape.
That's it. That is the name. She's definitely not that fast. That is the name of her coloring channel. I do highly recommend seeing it. She's done a lot of my coloring book covers, like Tombstone Darlings, I know right off from the get-go. And I have a special treat. I might as well, this is a little promo here. In the next couple weeks, hopefully this week, I believe I'll be releasing it. I have created a character named Vampire Dell. Now, why this has to tune into Davissa, like I said, she's one of my colorists on my team. And she has an adorable second grader. I think he's seven maybe. She'll correct me on here. We were talking the other day, and you know how kids are. They do have big ears, okay? And that's they listen to everything and eavesdrop. Well, we were talking about vampires. It was some kind of, thing Davissa was filling out, and she tagged me about The Walking Dead and all this, and I have yet to participate in that contest or that kind of questionnaire, but said something about a vampire, and Davissa said, well, I couldn't be a vampire because I didn't want to, drink the blood like they do. And I said, you know what? I said, I don't know, if I could live forever, hey, and be returned to a youthful state, and I'd be like, oh, I'm all hands on, right? And the little one, her son, goes ahead and says, I'll drink the blood. And it was the cutest thing. And right then at that moment, I'm like, I got to draw him as a vampire. So that's going to be released. And it was just so sweet. He's got the cutest little voice. And he goes ahead and says this. And it's like, what did he just say? So that's going to be released. And get back to Davissa, how she colors from dark to light. And I mean, if I don't know how many of you have my Tombstone Darling books, but that sunset, when she showed it to me and wanted me to approve the cover of it, the cover art coloring, and I'm looking at that going, yeah, you didn't use colored pencils on this. And she's like, yeah, I did. I said, no way. Just like how Tom said, the blending was pure perfection. And she's one of the few I know, and I've done this. I've colored from dark to light. And it's like, in my mind, and there's nothing wrong if you color from dark to light to dark. I'm a light to dark person, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing either or. It's whatever floats your boat. But she can sit there and make her colored pencils. It was so solid, it looked like a marker. And so he's rotten. No, he is like the cutest little kid. And it was just so sweet. But anyway, so that's going to be coming out. You're going to love that image. And let's see, while we're talking about my other artwork, before that, so please go check out her channel. Like I said, she gives a totally different approach to coloring. As far as other things coming out, I've been asked about my coloring books. I have 3 or 4 of them that will be released this month. Midnight Carnival, Pretty Possums, and I'm not going to say the other 2. I really don't like giving away everything. I like to keep you, it's Halloween. Got to have my little, tease, tricks, whatever you want to call it. Can't give away all the treats. You'll just have to wait and see. Which brings me to another thing. Sign up to my Instagram. It's Heather's Art World. There you will see the color or the cover art to my Pretty Possums. As far as anything else? Oh yeah, make sure you like this channel. Subscribe, tell your friends. I'm going to give this, hear me out now. Help me reach 500 followers or subscribers on my YouTube channel by October 31st, because I will be giving away a nice prize.
Really?
Yeah. Let's just say it's an original Kind of, but not. You know what I'm talking about.
Not sure, but
Yeah. In addition to
it'll
some
be a
other
good
things.
price. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you do that. Get all your friends to like my channel before Halloween. And hang around because I will be doing a lot of tutorials. Somebody's already asked me if I'll be continuing this, doing the tutorials and live shows after Halloween. Well, on November 1st, I will tell you, we will be doing Day of the Dead, a Day of the Dead show. Then I know we'll be definitely going live. This is already pencil sketched in on my, there we go, on my computer calendar. Krampus, which is...
December 5th is Krampus
Is
Day.
it? Yeah, December 5th. I've been wanting to do Krampus Day, and that's going to happen. Go back to Halloween. Shh. We cannot tell them what's on Halloween, but it's going to be frightful.
I'm sure it will be.
You know which one.
No, I don't.
I can't say it.
I know.
You know.
Yes.
It's going to be scary, but good. And that promo will be coming up here later on in the week, so you'd want to keep an eye out for that. Anyway, let's get back to coloring. I'm going to go ahead and change my layer here. And what I can do right now is, I want you to see this. I want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and change the background color. Now, I just erased the background, as you can see. I'm going to go to the background layer here. And check this out. This gives you the option, and I never do the whole entire background layer with the background. I always keep it white. But you can see how just the color here, how you can just change it. And that kind of helps you before, you set things in stone here as to what you want to do for your background. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to... what shall we call this? New back color. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drag this all the way down here. And I can go ahead and say comfortably, I already know I'm going to move it here into the blues. Kind of go with a dark blue. Now, watch this. Aha. That really is dark. I'm going to go a tad lighter. There we go. I'm going to do my brush. Oh, nice. It's just going ahead and changing that whole opacity. Oh, I don't like that. Did you see that?
Yeah. Is the multiplier on?
No. The opacity to that skin layer is.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is not go behind the skin. That was frightful. Talking about frightful. And this time for now, I'm just going to go ahead and make it a solid color. Alright, so that kind of helps you out here. So you can see, now that's kind of tying things in a little bit better for you. I'm going to shrink down my brush here and get around here. Come on.
So here's what's cool. I'm watching your iPad and I'm watching it on the screen. And the color on the screen, the way the camera's picking it up, is like Prussian blue. And what you're doing over there is quite a bit darker.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
it is.
Check it out.
It is. It really is. It's almost like a midnight.
That's the way the camera's picking it up. It's not bad, but...
Okay, truly, this is really
It's like
yeah,
midnight blue.
it's a midnight. It is. If I had my Copics here, almost to tell you what color I'm doing. Hold on a minute. To show you, that's a good point. Hang on a minute. Yes, my many layers of Copics. that's a little light. Truly, I rearranged my markers and it's totally out of reach. Okay. Okay, this is kind of how it's coming up on the screen, what you can see. This is almost like, I almost even want to say it's almost on the verge between a slate. Can you see that? It's, even that's coming out funky on the camera. Do you see that?
Yeah, but it's like...
It is, but it's darker than this. It's darker than that. There is quite a bit of difference from what you guys are seeing to this. I would go so far as saying, here, I'll make it simple. Those of you who know I love using Black Widow pencils, the Midnight from the Dark Skin set, and that's pretty much the color I chose. Go figure, right? Hey, when they're the best. I'm telling you, I take that back. Well, speaking of Black Widow pencils, I have to say, they still are my ultimate favorite. Even though I was gifted some King Art colored pencils the other day, and I've done the review. Make sure you check it out and give it a thumbs up here on YouTube. They're really good, very economical as far as pencils.
Well, for the price, they're far better than Prisma.
Oh yeah, I would definitely say better than Prisma. Okay, I'm just making sure here that I have all the blue in. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and change my layer. As you can see, and by the way, you can only have, I think it's like 26 or 28 layers on here, but there are ways to condense it. I've never ever once used up to 25 layers. That's a lot. I'm sure in more of your detailed, more realistic pieces, this is not. This is more of a comic book illustration. You would be able to use all your layers. But you can see, here's the background. We have my new back color, which was the blue, the base color. And see, if I uncheck this, it's back to white. There it is. We have our base hair color. We have the cauldron, and I have the sketch. And of course, I have the outlining, the inking. So what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to go up here and create a new layer. And I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm going to put it up above everything. Even up above the inking. Oh no, do I want to do that? Yeah, I want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge
Laura
this.
McDougal can't wait for your coloring books.
Oh yeah. And I've been asked this an awful lot. Do I have an Etsy store? No, I do not at this time. Everything online can be either from the physical books, or you can get from Amazon, or you can get the instant downloadable books and individual digital stamps and coloring sheets from my Color of Love shop online, and I'll post the link in the bottom below in the description here. Okay, so I want to go ahead and I'm going to choose a mid-range blue. Okay, and I would say kind of somewhere in here. If we don't like it, we can hit the back button, right? And we're on the new layer. I'm going to go ahead and select multiply here. Okay, now I'm going to get my brush, and I'm going to go with a softer brush here. Before that, hang on a minute. I'm going to go to my blush. I'm going to back up here. I'm going to create another layer. Oh, I haven't named this one, so I'll go ahead and name it Face. Face Details. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop this and go up above the hair color. No, below the hair color here. And I'm going to go ahead and choose a little more on the rough side. Hi, Bella.
She is sacked out behind her chair. Lily's on the little doggy bed.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down. And I'm going to drop the opacity here on this layer. It does get, at times, it does get when you're sitting here looking at this, and I want to go back to normal here. I don't want them multiply here. Go back to normal. That's for special things. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and drop the opacity here. And you can also see your numbers here. Let's see if this is going to work. Whoa, that was a big brush.
Now that you've zoomed in, your background color looks matched up.
Does it?
Yeah, that camera has trouble in low light.
And definitely, let's do a little too strong on here. And I'm going to go a little more on the pinker side. For Sarah. And for Mary. Like so. I'm going to shrink down the brush. And I think I like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. Oh, hang on a minute. New layer. Let me go ahead and, come on, go all the way up to the top. Everyone is so quiet. No questions.
Nope.
I'm going to call this shadows. And I'm going to go back to that blue. And I'm going to go back to multiply. And I'm going to drop the opacity here. To about 38%. Now this is when you get in to, and I have my shadow brush, okay. I'm going to go ahead and back that out and go up a little. And you can see I'm creating a shadow here. That's still too light. I'm going to go ahead and drop some around her neck. Shadow. A little bit on her face here. And because of the light...
Davissa says, we're all watching in awe. And Marianne says, sorry for being quiet, but it's getting a little late here. And she's pretty tired tonight, to be honest.
Well, my apologies for starting out a little late there. Another technical difficulty. Okay. And drop the shadows in about here. This is on the cooler side, the shadows. And I want to go ahead and I want to soften that a little bit. So I'm going to use my scrub brush here, or my blender. Wow, that just did not do good. See how you can hit the back button?
can't do that with pencil.
Whoa, that didn't, that just went really... Come on. There we go. I'll drop that down. There we go. And oh, that might help if I got off the smudger. Now we have this huge cauldron here that's going to be really a major light source. And I'm just adding in shadows here. I'll shrink this down a little bit. All right. I'm going to soften that up a little bit. But you can see it did a nice shadow. Like so. Okay, so what I want to go ahead and do is I want to add a little bit of, I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to go a little darker here. Now we have Winifred's hair, which is nothing more than a bunch of curls. I'm going to lay in a little bit of a shadow here. I'm kind of doing it sporadically, just to add a little. Got that in there. Now we're just starting to add in some of the details. This is where it gets really fun. Sorry if I get a little quiet. You kind of, like I said, you get lost in this. And with each layer, it just starts building up. I still am on multiply. Shrunk down the size here. All right. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to call that the highlights. Looks about right. Going to go to overlay. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is start adding in some of these highlights. And what you want to do is go ahead and pay attention, since we have this bright cauldron here that'll eventually go green. And you can see how little by little it's coming to life. And I'm still working underneath that sketch layer.
Heather's taking it all in. I think we're all quiet this afternoon.
What is it, a quiet Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like so. So we basically have such, we've just added, you know, just such easy going colors here. Go back up here. I create a new layer. How are we doing on time?
It's
Oh, about an hour.
3:38.
Okay. Since we had to start late there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change brushes. I'm going to go to a soft round.
And Laura McDougall says you're so good at this.
Oh, thanks. The thing too about digital is it allows you to experiment more. And I, you know, when I teach my classes, which if you're not on Patreon, sign up. I have 3 different tiers: $1, $5, $10, a low monthly fee each month. Tons of tutorials. You get free exclusives on there. But when I teach, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. It is one of those MS days. Yep. You know, I try to cover a little bit of everything, okay? And yeah, I'll leave it at that. It'll circle around and come back. So, anyway, thanks for bearing with me. Oh, yeah. There's my soft brush. I do like my soft brush. I'm going to shrink down the size here. I'm going to start adding in some of the highlights here. A little bit bigger. And for curly hair like this, you don't want to, you kind of want it kind of be very loose. Like so. I'm going to change and flip over here to a blue. A little too light. Okay. And definitely get in some of the highlights. Okay, like so. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start. I'm going to grab another layer. Yes, another layer. Face details. Oh, that's fun. All right, and that's on top of everything else here. Before I do that, I'm going to drop down to the base color because I want underneath this, and I'm going to go ahead and grab some white. I'm going to widen this up here. Shrink down my brush. And I'm underneath that sketching layer. Like so. Go over here. I'm not too worried about if it gets white in her eyeball. That'll change here. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to grab a, what do I want to grab? Just a hint of a gray. A little darker. I think that new snore is Lilybug.
They're all chiming in. Got a Shih Tzu chorus.
I don't even know where Mr. Leo is right now.
He's sacked out on the sofa.
He's my 20-year-old Shih Tzu. Well, 20. Wait a minute. This might be May, April, June, July, August, September, October. Yay! He's 7 months. On October 29th, he'll be 20 years old and 7 months. How cool is that? And he's still acting like a newborn pup. He's got his rough days, don't get me wrong. Whoops. Now see, if you did something like that in coloring, what would happen? You'd have to...
Toss it.
No, you don't toss it. You circle or file it. Well, yeah, that is, I mean, you put it aside. This is getting to be a fun day. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and soften that
Whoop.
a little bit. Do what?
Your whoops just showed up on the stream.
Oh, my whoops just showed up on the stream, huh? Yeah, we do run in time delay here. All right, so now I'm going to go back up here to my face detail layer. And I'm going to go and get... I'm sorry, that... Oh, excuse me 1 second. I have to sneeze. Why not? Okay, maybe it's averted. Oh my god, we have snore 1 and snore 2, a really high pitch and a really low pitch. Oh, mercy me. It's live. What can I say?
If that had happened to Vanessa, she'd say, I would cry.
What in the world?
What is it?
I don't know. Stuff is falling like from the ceiling or something. I don't know. It was a big chunk of... It was almost like a dog bone.
It's an old house.
Literally, I just went, it'll show up on camera. It just plunk, and I'm like, okay. No, it's the ghosts in the house. It's close to Halloween, so why not? Oh, that was really fun. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, we just roll with it, and why not? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and very carefully ink in her eyeliner, her eyelid. Kidding not, that's not good when stuff falls like that.
Laura McDougall says we love them.
Thank you. Okay, so you can see how, and get her other eyelash here. This is when you start doing the finer details and it starts tying everything, closer and closer together. I'm going to go ahead and get...
Laura says it's Rhodey causing the ceiling to come in on us.
Oh, God, I hope not. Rhodey should be at Carl's house, so Carl and Judith. I don't know, but Rhodey will be making an appearance here before Halloween. I will tell you that. Looks like she's angry here.
So I have to ask, what are the witches cooking?
Their life potion.
It's not lunch?
No. Definitely not lunch. Excuse me. I woke up with this sore throat on top of everything else. No brain. Now, the funny thing is about this, I'm sitting here winging this, the eye and the eye over here and stuff, when they do have a program on here or a button on here that can copy the eye and flip it over. But I really don't like doing that. I like my own thing.
Well, eyes are almost never proportionate anyway.
Well, not especially when you're a witch. I really love this outlining brush because it picks up the sensitivity of the pressure of the brush, so when you're lighter on it, it makes a thinner line. Sarah is definitely not into the potion. She's more into about how good she looks.
Davissa says, I hope you feel better soon.
Well, thank you. Me too. Okay, so we have their eyes in. I'm definitely going to add some on Sarah. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. Okay. All right, like so. See, it's coming in together. Now we know that Bette Midler have teeth. I'm not showing the teeth on this one. Her big oversized teeth. Her two front teeth, which I thought was the cutest thing on the planet. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this. Wonder how she was able to talk with those things. Literally.
And sing.
I know, right? Like so. If I go back here to the sketch, oh, wrong one, the inking layer. Whoa, that was what happens when you take away the lines. Don't want to do that right now. Okay. I can go in here and I can erase. Whoop, that didn't work out right because I'm on the wrong layer. I can go here to the ink. I can erase the sketch lines. And that's the beauty about that. About working in layers, I should say. Go back here.
Have you seen the Winifred Sanderson COVID mask?
No.
It's got her mouth with the teeth
Oh,
showing.
goodness gracious.
I think you need one.
You know. Okay.
Now, how old is this Disney property? What, almost 30 years old?
I think so, yeah.
I'm surprised it being Disney, they never animated it to get around the expense of making the movie.
I don't know. Why would they want to do that?
Well, they did it with Beetlejuice.
I don't know. Oh, I know what I just did. Okay, here is a prime example. When you're not paying attention to your layers, okay, I just drew on my ink layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit the delete button. And voila, it's gone. I'm going to go ahead and go back up to the face details, and we're not going to do that again. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it in. See, this is what happens. You get carried away and you're not paying attention. Well, they're supposed to be making a part 2 of this.
It's being made.
Got the book. I'm kind of hoping they don't do the book. And now I'm going to go back to the ink and get an eraser here.
Yeah, the book was a little lame.
And you can see I'm erasing the sketch lines that were in my eye. Yeah, I didn't like the book. We'll see what happens. Okay, there we go. And we need our other lipstick here. I did it again. Get out of that. Kind of go into the red here a little bit. And let's get Winnie's lips, or not Winnie's lips, Mary's lips in. Like I said, remember, this is fan art. This is my own version of the Hocus Pocus. So, with that being said, okay, I'm going to shrink that down like that. Oh, they're looking so stinking cute. I'm going to go up here to the cauldron. Pick a blue. I'm going to get my airbrush on the soft blend, blow it up a little bit. Let me find out what layer I am in. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now I can go back to cauldron. Let me go back to cauldron. There we go. And I'm adding in a little bit of the highlights to the cauldron, like so. Now something really cool here. I'm going to go up here. And these are all my fancier brushes, I guess you can say detailed brushes. And I'm going to go ahead, I don't think I want it that big. Well, not that big. And I'm adding a little bit of texture to the cauldron, like so. You can come in here and add a little bit of the blue. Shrink that down. Now, how easy is that? Texture brushes do come in handy. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to
I gotta say, it's magic.
right? It is. It is. It is. It is. Now I'm going to come in here.
Divisa says they're looking beautiful, and that is so cool.
And now I'm erasing the sketch lines. I don't want my brown lines showing up on the cauldron. Looks like what?
Looks like a cannonball.
Yeah, doesn't it? I said, this is when you get really, really fun. That took like no time at all. And now I can come in, go back to that airbrushing. Use a medium hard airbrush. Going to shrink this down. Yeah. Like so. This is where the digital comes in. Really just, you're just Mercy, ballerina.
Davissa says she so wants to try this now.
It really is really, 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 really fun. It really, really, really is. I cannot say enough.
You should partner with Procreate.
Oh, yeah. All in good time. Eek. So like I say, ooh, eeks on the digital are not as hazardous to your health as they are when you color with colored pencils. I'm not sure that I'm digging that thing.
Heather Berger says this is the part I love.
Yeah, it just starts all just coming together. This is the...
It's pretty wicked. You just lay down your local color and go to town, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to go back up into these faces here. And her hair. Alright, so we know that... Oh, do I want to go that way? I don't want to go that way right this second. Do I? No, not really. Yes, I talk to myself. Okay. No, I'm still not happy with that. Well, I'm getting off that ink. And I already drew on the ink, so why not, right? Wonder what color Winifred's eyes were.
Hmm. Hazel.
Really?
Hazel.
Well, they're blue now. How cool is that, right? Sarah's?
Her eyes are gray. Sarah's. Let's see. Blue. Pale blue.
And Mary's? While you're at it.
They're brown to black.
Okay. Everybody is so quiet.
Dark brown eyes.
All right. What do we say Winifred's were? Green?
Gray.
Gray. Huh.
I'm curious to see what you do with Winifred's hair.
Me too. Gotcha.
Because when she showed up in your studio, it looked like spun copper.
Oh, I know, right? We're just going ahead and adding a little bit of the shadows. Oh, that one going right. So how many of you would like more digital classes? I think that was my question from earlier. I was just thinking about that.
From what I've read, I think they like both.
And I'm alternating back between the brushes and the smudge brush here. Yes, did you have a question?
Nope.
I'm going to go up here to hair highlights or hair. And this is when it starts just really coming together here.
Wow. Heather Berger would like more digital classes.
Awesome. Do you have a tablet already, Heather?
And so would Chris Castelli.
Awesome. What are your tablets?
Heather would love to learn anything she can.
It really is. It really is fun. I mean, there is so much to learn. I mean, this is just a small.
Well, the Wacom is about the same price as the iPad Air.
And iPad Pro.
iPad Air was, what, 600 and change?
Yeah.
And so is the Wacom.
No, the Wacom was almost 8, 9, wasn't it?
No, it was only 6 and change.
Oh, okay.
But the thing about the iPad Air is it's portable. I mean, you got to buy the Apple Pencil to go with it, so there's another 120 something. Heather Berger has her iPad.
Oh, it's really great, yeah. I like it, and it's the ease of the Procreate or the tablet too. That if I want to, if I'm having a bad MS day and I want to, just veg out, on the sofa or something, not at my desk, it's portable.
Well, even when you have me outline your images for you, on
Some of them.
it's very relaxing. When we're doing transfers from paper to iPad, digital.
It's usually when I'm having a bad hand day or something. Let's clarify that.
Well, no, I'm just a helper.
We may have to finish this tomorrow, the way this is going.
You're in the details.
Yeah, and it's not just having like one image, like it's 3 of them. This would be a lot easier. I want to keep everyone here so late. I'll blend that out.
Heather says she has neuropathy and it's easier on her hands.
Indeed. I'm
Boy,
sorry
if
to
you
hear
don't-
that.
And Carl said he would.
Excellent. Okay. Whoa, that was dark blue. Why do that much?
Well, there's the beauty of it, though. They could get the downloaded file of your image,
Yeah, not of this one.
of another image,
Right.
on their iPad or their tablet, and they could color digitally.
Yes, indeed. You just import it.
I'd like to have you teach me to hand-tinted photographs. I think that'd be a good class, too.
Oh, those are fun. I figured out something. I've had the opacity button on.
Oh, way up, yeah.
I know, right? That would be why I'm sitting here going, now why is this not getting any darker? Oh, well. All I'm doing is, I know I've gotten real quiet here again. All I'm doing is layering in the various shadows and stuff. What's going on? Adding a couple of the highlights.
So Heather, what do you want to do for Halloween?
What do you mean?
Well, what do we want to do? You want to dress up and scare the kids like you did Aiden the other day?
No. I'm already having bad things about that. Poor Davis's boy. You had to mention that. I had kind of forgotten about that. Was doing my promo for, well, late Winnie was here, okay, and contacted one of my colorists, Davissa, her son, and wanted to say hi to him, and I scared him. It was so bad. The look on his face, I felt so bad. All I did was say hi. You just had to mention that, didn't you?
Well, we've got a little one next door you could scare the tar out of.
No, I don't want to scare any kids.
That's the best part of Halloween.
No.
She says, I don't really think he was scared.
I saw the look on his face. I'm emotionally scarred from that.
Well, I know it scarred me.
Yeah, right.
Never expected to see Winifred Sanderson in our house.
Okay, I'm going to drop this layer here. And I don't think I can.
She threatened to turn Leo into a black cat.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I think he was really just trying to get a reaction out of Heather. Well, it worked. He scarred Heather, too.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. I kid you not. The look on his face.
Well, it's like Dorothy Hamilton, the Wicked Witch of the West, was a kindergarten teacher before that, but she could never go back to being a kindergarten teacher because it terrified the children.
Oh, I know. That was sad.
It's one way to get obedience out of small children.
Tom. No, nothing like scaring kids. That's not a good thing. Okay, now you want to pay close attention here. We have this cauldron here that has this glowing life force potion. So now you want to pay attention to your highlights because your light source isn't coming, well, it is kind of coming on you, but not at a direct angle. It's coming up. So you have to be very mindful of your shadings here. Okay. So I know the light force, or the light potion, life potion is going to be kind of green. So what I want to go ahead and do is I want to go ahead and pick this up in their eyes. Like so. And a little bit on their lips. and on her nose. So you're coming on in and you're
Divissa feels bad because it upset you so much. And Laura McDougall says that her dad used to put pantyhose over his face and scare the tar out of his
I
sister.
think my dad did that too.
And she said it really scared them.
Wait a minute, maybe it wasn't my dad. I don't know. Yeah, behind the bush, the big bush in the front yard. This giant bush in the front yard, and I could have swore, maybe I'm off wrong, but it wasn't. I don't know. Many, many moons ago. Okay, but you can see now how the highlights, you're getting this glow. And you kind of want to soften it out just a bit. Whoop, not a smudge. Because your eyes have that such a reflective quality to them.
Marion Larson says her little grandson is 7.5, just loves if he can scare her too.
Okay, so I want to go back to that original sketch or that ink layer. I'm going to grab my eraser here.
Divissa's son likes to scare her, and when I was in kindergarten, before I met you, the second graders came by to scare us kindergarten kids. They cut a hole in the bottom of a jewelry box, little cardboard jewelry box, and put the cotton in it, stuck their finger around it and put red paint around the end of their finger, and they opened the lid on the box to show you the cut off finger, and then it moved.
Oh,
I thought that was scary.
Ew.
I scare you without trying to. I may be a big guy, but I can walk pretty quiet.
I jump at anything. It's 'tis the season. I do that year round anyway.
You scare good too. You literally scream, and I have to worry if the neighbors down the street heard you.
Go in here. Ah, my opacity is up. So there it is. Hold on. I gotta get another. I'm switching layers here. We're way out of sync on layers here. Don't ask.
Bella has risen.
This is not. I can change the layer here. Yeah, I'm gonna make a new layer. Why not? I can make as many layers as I want here.
Not up to 28 yet, huh?
Yeah, no, we got plenty of room. Details.
Mary Ann's kids did that finger trick too when they were at school many years ago.
Oh man.
Divissa wants to know if we watched Separation last night.
Nope.
We watched the trailer.
Yeah, the night before. It's too scary.
We watched a new show called Just Beyond. What was it, on Disney?
Yeah, I think so.
It was by R.L. Stine, who did Goosebumps. And the episode last night would have made a cute TV show.
Yeah, it would have. Oh, yeah, that worked. Not.
I had a friend of mine who had studied to be a mortician in New Orleans in the Garden District when he was in college, Tulane. And he said he and the fellow mortuary students used to love to scare each other. And if somebody fell asleep really deep, they'd take them down and lay them in one of the display caskets out front in the showroom. And then somebody would wake up in a casket with the lid open.
Wrong.
And Divisa brought up Fear Street. Fear Street was good too.
Except for the third episode. Didn't finish it.
Haven't finished the third one yet.
Okay. Oh, this is taking longer than I thought. So what we're going to have to do, and this is 3 characters on one. I'm going to go ahead and start working a little bit on their outfits here. And I think we're hitting the 2-hour mark here. Work a little longer. Then if I don't have it done, I'll resume tomorrow. I'm doing it, but it is coming along really, really stinking cute.
Laura McDougall likes the Goosebumps series too. We need to watch the series. The movies were good.
Yeah, I like the movies. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm coming up and doing some cleanup around the images. It's basically they're around her. I'm going to go ahead and come back in. Do what?
Not,
Oh, I
didn't
thought
say
you
anything.
said. I
Nope.
thought you said something.
Nope.
And I'm working in my black. And I'm starting to add in the details here. And this is just done with the soft brush. Mary's hair is more, it's kind of scattered, I guess you would say too, or unkept. She's nowhere near as polished and as Sarah, who's really more prim and proper, I guess you can say. Like I said, we're not going for the realistic look here. This is more just fun, whimsical. Paying attention, your shadows come further away. From your light source. And with that being said, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to add some of this blue.
I like her hair. It looks good.
Thanks.
I like the way you've got her mouth screwed up the way her character was.
That was so funny. She did a great job of that. To stay in character like that. They all did.
I would love to see the outtakes from that.
Indeed. Okay, so even though we don't have the, I'm going to soften up the little blue a little bit with a smudge. Even though the cauldron's going to have the green light force and stuff in it, I want to go ahead and now add the green. I want some of that blue in there. And you're going to kind of blend it out a little bit. Smudge, and they do make smudge brushes too. Just want the glow effect. Like so. I'm going to come on in. Add a little more hair here. Okay, and with that being said, drop down to the blue. Okay, now what's really fun is you want to come in let's see, I'm going to come back and smudge out a little bit of this. Get the black. Okay, I'm going to open up another layer here. Or details, there we go. And as scattered as her hair and messy her hair is, you want to kind of bring that in. And it gives it a more realistic, even though we're doing comic book style, it makes it not as flat. Adds a little character to her hair. Like so. And then you can come back with, say, a lighter strand. With the lighter strand, you want to kind of just go easy breezy with it. Uh-oh, my neganism for today. Like so. Come in here and do some with her eyebrows. And then I think I'm going to call it a day for today.
Marianne says that her hair looks really awesome. Loves how it turns out now.
Yeah, thank you. It's starting to tie in all together here. Usually we just do one piece. Now we got 3 characters. So.
Devissa says it's beautiful.
Thank you. I want to come in here. Close attention to that. But before we go, I want to, well, I still want to go ahead and do some on the cauldron here. A new layer.
Carl says, great job. Laura says they're looking so good.
Thank you. Detail cauldron. I'm going to go ahead and, although this isn't really a cauldron spot, oh, whoa, okay, oh. Yeah, we're only going to be here a few more minutes.
Chair getting a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I'm just topping off like the smoke that is coming from the bottom that we can't see. It's magical smoke, so it's going to be. Like so. Whoop. It doesn't matter how many layers and stuff it takes to get your desired look. Take your time.
Chris Costelli said it would take a lot of practice for her, and it's so fascinating to watch.
Well, thank you. It really, once you start learning it, and I mean, there of course there's a learning curve and stuff. It's really, I know this looks easy, and I want to say, there is a learning curve, but it is easy because you're so free to play with the brushes and everything like that. So it's really cool. I highly recommend it. I mean, even if you're kind of skeptical and scared at first, yeah.
Well, the best part's the back button.
The back button. Yeah, you really cannot go wrong here. Okay, so let me shrink that down. Oh, we didn't do our back. I had it off. The screen there. Wow, okay.
Marianne Larson says, yes, it really looks so easy when Heather's doing it, but I know it's a lot harder than it looks.
I
don't think it is once you get the hang of it.
Once you, yeah, it's. But I know it can appear very overwhelming.
How many brushes do you think you have saved in Procreate?
Probably about 75.
That's all? I think you had more.
Obviously, I did not get the right color in here. But that's all right.
Davissa says she could never do that kind of work with colored pencils. I don't think so. I think she could.
Oh, yeah.
She makes colored pencil look like marker.
Yeah, that she does.
Marianne says, can we use that program like that on a laptop too, or is it only for an iPad?
It's only for the iPads, I believe. There's other programs out there that,
She could use Photoshop on an
yeah,
laptop.
Photoshop, and it's pretty close. Okay, so go back to my.
What brush do you use to smudge your outside detail like that?
It's just a smudge. I don't know what I just have. I think it's on the round brush. Yeah. There, you can have certain smudge brushes. Okay. What was I doing? Layering this in.
Davissa says, thank you both, but you get all the credit. I'm just reading texts.
Do what?
Davissa says, thank you both. I said, you're welcome, but you get all the credit. I'm just reading texts.
In fact, no, I'm in the technical pen. I'm not even in the airbrushing. Wow. I thought I was in my soft brush. Wait, come on. Shrink down the brush. Yeah, my hand is getting more wobbly here. So we're going to have to... I don't want to keep hitting the back
Well, you're
button.
approaching 2.5 hours. So
Do what?
you're approaching 2.5 hours.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And
So
your technical support would like something other than a metal chair.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so what I want to do is come in here. I'm going to show you something. And I'm looking for... I want to save that for last. There's a certain brush I'm looking for.
Carl says, learned a lot, have to run.
All right, take it easy. Thanks for coming. Flames. I knew I'd find it. Okay, so what I want to go ahead and do is I want to lighten this up a little bit. And I want to make sure, do you see this?
Wow.
Okay, so what I want to do, as a matter of fact, I'm going to shrink this down a little more opaque. What did you say?
You
Oh,
just said, wow,
I
I was
thought-
watching you there. They haven't seen it yet.
And then
Laura says she's really enjoyed it.
I love this brush.
With the wisps.
Okay, this brush could be a downfall too when you're liking it, and then you could go, oh, it's like really, really overkill. I could see that happening with ease, and that would not be a cool thing.
You could even reduce the opacity on it, though.
Right. And it is kind of reduced. All right, and then I'm going to come on in. I don't like that line.
Heather Berger says cool.
Isn't, I mean, it's really just coming along.
Divisa says this has been so much fun.
And what I might do is just go ahead, instead of doing a live show on this one, because I have tons of other images due for Halloween, finish this tomorrow, and then upload the video so you have the part 2 to this. I don't want to keep you here so long, but I want to go ahead and add this glitter stuff first. So I want to come in here and do this before we all
Marianne
leave.
says, wow, it looks really amazing and brings some magic in.
Doesn't it? I mean, it just... Okay, so then I'm going to come in and... If I wanted to add... Too much.
I think it's like 11 where Marianne is.
Do what?
I think it's like 11 where Marianne
Is it? So we can do some other images instead of I'm adding different colors here, like so. And then one more thing. I know, I keep going, and then.
And then?
And then it bigger. Yes. Like so. Like so, like so, like so. So you all don't want them to match. I think this is one of my favorite pens. Little brushes. Like that. Okay. So, here we are, and I'm gonna, let's see if I can, isn't that just the coolest?
That is really cool.
All right, so we're gonna break now. I'll go ahead and finish this. Thank you so much for joining me today. Sorry I was so quiet. Just got really caught up into the image, and kind of an off day for me health-wise. But I wanted to come on in and spend some time with you and to teach you some things, which hopefully you did learn. I'm going to go ahead and upload part 2 to this. Do it, just go ahead and record it. And then this week I will probably be live Wednesday, Thursday with a little something fun, an easy breezy session, only one character. And then join me this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think, what is that, the 24th? Are we sure? The 24th. He says it's the 24th. And I will tell you how many, give me a shout out, how many want to know the theme for next week? Or should I make you wait?
Make them wait.
No.
Make them wait. Oh, heck, tell them.
Gotta say it 3 times. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Or is it Lady Heather, Lady Heather, Lady Heather? Anyway, so shh, don't tell anybody.
He's back.
That's next Sunday. And then the following Sunday is Halloween, and my lips are sealed. You will not, until you see the promo, you will not see. But I can tell you, it is going to be amazing. And that'll also be at 2 p.m. on Halloween. But don't say it. Do not say it.
So his catchphrase is what? It's showtime.
Yeah, it's showtime next week. This coming Sunday. So, bye for now. Thank you again for joining me. Head on over to my Patreon, www.patreon.com/HeatherValentine for more tutorials from traditional to digital, what have you. And then, of course, check out my live streams and my other tutorials here on YouTube. Join me on Instagram. I don't think I missed anything. Give me a thumbs up. Bring fans. Got an awesome prize pack for you if we hit 500 by Halloween. 500 subscribers here on my YouTube channel. So all for now. Thank you for joining me. Until next time. Bye.